Okay, so in this example, I just want to go over one more translation just to give you a sense of how we might go through an English to Latin translation with these gerunds and gerundives. So I'm just going to jump right into this and we will work through it. So let's just read the sentence first to get an overall idea of what's going on. So I gave the pirates more money to free my sick brother. So let's think about what essentially the main way to go about this is think about what the verb is, think about what the subject is of that verb, and then start piecing together the rest of the pieces of the sentence after that. So for this verb, I think the main verb of this sentence is I gave. So we'll just keep it at that for now. And what did I give? Did I give the pirates or did I give more money? I think pirates is the indirect object because it seems that they're the ones who are receiving something. But the thing that I'm actually giving is the money. So here's our direct object. And then we have this secondary clause right here, to free my sick brother. So this is kind of a precursor to what we might see a bit later when we get into subjunctive clauses, but it's essentially what we call a purpose clause in English. So if you wanted to fully expand this out, we'll call this, you could use the phrase in order to, or for the purpose of freeing my brother, my sick brother. So this is exactly what's going on here. So let's start off with just the main part of the sentence, and then we'll get into how we might go about translating this purpose clause. So I think for give, I think there should be a pretty natural verb that comes to mind here. So our verb for give is do. And since this is clearly a past tense verb in English, I think we can use our simple past, which is dati in Latin. That's actually a short E, so let me just go back there real quick. Dati. And then what did I give? I gave more money. So we'll go ahead. So how do you give more of something? You use the adjective plus, and then you use the genitive, more of. This is one of our genitive of the whole understandings. More of something is how these two are related. And then we also have to understand what this money was given to. Since it's an indirect object, we could pretty naturally go with the dative case here. And since it's not just one pirate, but it's many, we'll also use the dative plural. So I gave more money to the pirates, and then to free my sick brother. So hopefully it should be a bit more natural to come to you to think through this process now, but the only way of really forming a purpose clause we know right now is with the gerund or gerundive phrases. So we'll go over the gerund form first, and then, because it's a bit more natural to think it through in English that way, and then we'll talk about how we might put this together as a gerundive. So I'm just going to go down here. All right, so in order to start a purpose clause in this way, it essentially takes the preposition odd, which modifies or goes along with the accusative case. So we'll go with of whatever the accusative case of the gerund of the verb. So to free. So let's think about what to free someone is, which is similar to our word in English, liberty, freedom. So we'll go with this verb as well. So, and it is a first conjugation verb. And we need the accusative case, so we'll go with liberandum, ad liberandum. But we also need an object of this because gerunds are by definition verbal nouns. So they also take direct objects. So let's put my sick brother in the accusative case. We'll go ahead and just use the personal pronoun here, my, and then brother, it's frater, like fraternity, fratrem, it's a third declension noun, and then sick is igrum. That's a bad A, but there we go. Igrum fratrem. So for freeing my sick brother. So now let's talk about what we might do for understanding this with the gerundive phrase. So in order to form this gerundive phrase, we need to take the case, the original gender, and I'll write it over here, the original gender and number of our noun, but we also need the case of our gerund. So gerund's case here is accusative singular, and the gender is masculine here, and also it is singular. So in this case, we'll turn over our gender to the gerund. That turns into what our gerundive will be, since it's essentially an adjective. And then we'll give our case to the noun. So essentially in this example, it actually doesn't change at all because they both have the same case. So meum fratrem, and since this is the exact same thing in the masculine gender as in the neuter gender, it actually doesn't change at all. Maybe a bit more complicated. We could take a look at what it might look as. Just in order to change this, if we change this to my sick brothers, this might make it a bit clearer about what changes here. So we'll just change this real quick to my sick brothers. Just gonna delete a few things real quick here just to get this converted over. And so we'll use meos, fratres, igros. So this is just converting sick brother to sick brothers. And then we'll also have to change the number of the gerundive to plural as well to match. So even though when it's singular, the gerund and gerundive phrase looks the same, when it's plural, we can see the difference. So liberandos, ad meos fratres, igros. So let's just talk about the overall translation then. So I gave more money to the pirates for the purpose of freeing my sick brother. So this is a gerund way of saying it, but you can also do it with a gerundive. For the purpose of my sick brother to be freed, literally. But it also has the exact same translation as a gerund. For freeing my sick brother. Alright, so hopefully that helped you understand a bit about what's going on here with these gerund and gerundive phrases. Alright, thank you. Have a good one.